Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another episode of Raid Shadow Legends. So today in this episode, my plan is I'm going to do some PvP. I do need to get some of them silver medals for one of the missions. I've not been doing too good in the silver arena, and that's probably primarily because my team isn't actually kitted out for that, and the team composition isn't all that great. But I am working on getting those medals, and I will have to sort of end up at some point leveling up some champions. So obviously, before we do anything, I'm gonna start off with some dailies. Gonna get some shards pulled out. We do need to get the daily missions over with. I think I need to fight in the arena 5 times, so I'll quickly do that. Hopefully those 5 fights won't necessarily be all lost. At this point in time, I'm not particularly bothered with winning in the silver arena. It's just because of my team composition. It's not the best. I do need to swap stuff out. I just don't have the stuff to swap it out with, so that's a bit of a issue, that right there. And then after that, I think what I want to do is I do have some champions that I do want to use, and so the plan going forward from that point forth would be to level up some champions, and then I think once I get them to say a level 40, I'm probably going to look at getting some food leveled up. I do need a second 6-star champion. Now I am debating going between Valkyrie, who is really good, or Elaine, who is going to become my campaign farmer. So a bit of a debate that right there as to who to go for. I mean, getting to a 6-star is a bit of a challenge in itself at this point in time, but I do need a campaign farmer, so that is quite a big priority. Now if I go with Valkyrie, she will carry Kale, which means I can only do 2 champions at a time. If I get out and level up Elaine, I reckon with probably a lifesteal set for survivability and a maxed out crit rate and good attack and crit damage, she should be able to farm the campaign by herself. Now that would be the plan. If I can get her to do that, and that means I can get more champions quicker out and stuff like that. So that would be the plan in the long run. I mean, it's not going to happen tonight. This is just a continuous grind. So hopefully, also, like, going up from the bronze stage or arena to the silver arena, the team compositions are completely different. So I'm still learning how people put their champions together. I know some of them and their ability. I don't know all of them, and some of them really synergize good with other champions. So this is one of the things that I'm learning. Now I'm obviously trying to get wins here if I can. If not, I'll just have to do it. Obviously I don't want to drop off silver. I do need the silver arena points, so that is one of the things that is required for a mission. And obviously I am slowly working towards getting the Arbiter, so that would be a good champion to have. I was looking at what other champions I've got lying around, and I could fuse Relic Keeper, although I would have to level up some of those champions and I would have to do quite a bit of work with them to fuse them. So that all the stuff for Relic Keeper is now currently there. It just needs a lot of work to get them prepped for the fusion. So that is something I might be doing in the future. And to be fairly honest, when I have gone off camera against teams with Relic Keeper, he is pretty darn good. Another thing I haven't actually looked at with regards to my team is the order in which they go. I've just gone with whatever, so that's another thing that I'll need to bear in mind. Now Relic Keeper seems to be pretty darn good in the arena, especially if you get him to go last and before the opponent team. Basically he has an ability where if he kills an opponent or an opponent's champion, he then gets to go again, which is pretty darn nice. So I reckon if you can get their health down and then have Relic Keeper go at the end, that's pretty neat. With Kale, I do need to look at his gear as well. And then I also need to go through my sets of gear because I've got a ton of stuff there that I've been saving up for dark days. Not necessarily because they were good. I've gone, you know how I said and advised that it's really good to look at what they called percentage primary stats. I've tried to do that as much as I can, but obviously as I am trying to collect gear, I did sometimes get flat stats and keep them if they had good percentage substats. So I'll have to have a look at that and then kind of focus a lot more on the percentage primary stats. I think the only one that doesn't come with percentage would be speed, but that's fine. And so that's something I'll have to do at some point. That's going to take a long time because I've got like, I reckon about 100 sets of gear that I could probably, or close to 100, that I could, not sets but pieces of gear that I could probably go through and sell off, and that would be some nice money as well. I am running really low on silver, so let's see this team now. Don't go off the power, it does not mean anything. I reckon I'll be very lucky if I can pull this one off. Okay, so Gallic doesn't hit very hard. They have a massive shield that I have to burn through, so hopefully I can get that down as quick as possible. And there are two champions that are legendaries, which I don't know what they do, so, you know, again, this is a bit of a learning curve, so hopefully we get it right now. Ideally, I would lie the shaman down, because she's going to revive someone. So let's see what happens from this point forth. Now, currently speaking, the only two champions that are actually worth keeping in the arena would be Valkyrie and Kale, but Kale still needs a lot of tweaking about with regards to his abilities and gear and all that stuff. I'm running Elaine and what's the other one called? Cold Heart. Oh, sorry, I've got a bit of a funny throat. So yeah, I'm running Elaine and Cold Heart as, I don't know, because that's what I've got. That's currently leveled up. Now, as I said throughout some videos prior to this, I have, of course, put in some money, but not a lot. I don't really want to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds or dollars on the game. So that does, of course, mean it's going to be a bit more challenging for me to get to where I'm going, but it's okay. I'm enjoying the grind. It is a bit frustrating when you see newer players get further along because they put in a lot of money, but whatever, you know, it's the way these games work, so just have to get used to it. Oh dear. So you see what I mean? Cold Heart doesn't really do that much. Could really do with a CC champion, something that puts a sleep debuff or a stun debuff or something like that. That would really help. And a provoke champion, that would be a good one. So I'll have to have a look at what I've got, something that could fill those roles and then work on them. But that would be most likely after I get my second, possibly third level 60 champion. I do want to focus a bit more on the PvE side and try and get the dungeons done to a higher tier so I can get better gear for my champion. So that would be more important than the arena at this point in time. So let's have a look. What else have I got? Oh, I've lost count of how many fights I've been in. Yeah, that's not going to happen, is it? Those are all really good champions right there. So as you can see right there, this is Relic Keeper. We've got Elaine, Kale, and so they'll have a heal. So I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, there is a possibility I might win. It depends on how hard Kale hits. It depends on how hard Relic Keeper hits as well. So he's got potentially 3 hard-hitting champions if they are geared well. And then you've got shields, so I'll burst the shields, I think. No, I don't know if they had all shields, but I need to take 1 or 2 of them down. Now, the good side to this is they don't have a revive, so that's going to help a ton. And now the fun begins. Ooh, that was a big hit. Yep. Right, so Kale might potentially go down. Okay, no. I was relying on my Kale to do the counter, but that didn't happen, did it? Let's see. Okay. Ooh. You see what I mean? Elaine and Coldheart tend to go down pretty quick. I mean, they are only level 40, so that does not really help my situation very much. So, again, another bit of an issue, that right there. Oh, 40? Or is it 50? I think they're 50, yeah. They're not really kitted out for this sort of thing. Now, I wouldn't have wanted to waste that hit on Kale, but Kale's going to pretty much demolish me if he gets a chance, so I don't want to give him that. If I can just get Relic Keeper by himself. He has to go down though, because he heals every turn. And then he gets another go right there. See, that's the problem with him. So, I'm going to have to take down the healer. We don't want him healing up if I want to stand a chance. Ooh, that was close. So you see what I mean? That's one of the things. I mean, if I would have had two champions, that could have lasted a bit longer. Yeah, I don't know why I thought Elaine and Coldheart were 40, but yeah. I mean, their gear isn't great either, so Elaine's gear needs looking at. It does burst still, that crit rate, so that's kind of a waste. I do need to keep it at around... Oh, there we go. That's an easy fight right there. So I do want to keep it 100% and then look at other stuff to do and invest in. So, what do we got here? We can claim that. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head what the missions were. So I do have a ton of energy packs, as you can see now. I do want to thin it out. So with that said, let's do this one because it's an easy fight. You know, that kind of balances out my loss from before. I'm going to do that just to keep it fair. I don't know if it actually makes a difference, but whatever. I don't even know if that was fair, but yeah, whatever. You know. Okay, so we fought 5 times in the arena. That's one of the missions, one of the quests down. I need to buy something from the market, which I've already done. Let's get these. I need to beat a boss 3 times and use up 50 energy to complete the daily quests. That'll give me 400 XP and 10 gems, so that's gonna be good. Next up, let's have a look at here. What can I do? So I think what I'm going to do from this point forth is I'm going to start leveling up some champions. I'm still going for this. I still want those bloody war maidens that I have not been dropping, which is really annoying. So that's the way I intend to book up my war maiden, which is actually quite decent. She does have good debuffs and they could come in handy at some point. So I do want to keep a war maiden for myself that is fully booked, which means I'm going to have to grind this forever and ever until I actually get it. I don't understand why I'm being so unlucky with this stage with regards to getting the rare champions. Like when I used to do the ones that dropped the gore masks, the stage that did the gore masks, I used to get loads of them. I had so many I didn't know what to do with them at one point. I was actually yeah, like I'd say maybe 10% of my vault space was taken up by gore masks. Whereas here I've not really gotten anything, which kind of sucks. But yeah. So I'm going with the Void champions. There are 2 champions that interest me out of the Void ones that I've got. I'll level these guys up, and then once I've got them leveled up, I have to see. I think Tyrell needs leveling up as well. So if I bring him up to 40, that means just 2 more stars to go to get him to 50. Tyrell's going to be useful. He's a god in terms of debuffing, so I need him on the clan boss team. We do need to debuff that boss a bit more if I'm going to push up my damage up. So Tyrell's probably going to join the crew. Who else am I going to be used? Coldheart probably will stay there because she dishes out a ton of damage. And you know what? I've actually played around with Valkyrie with the poison set. Just kind of makeshift sort of thing. And she seems to dish out a bit more damage. Now, obviously, she doesn't hit the boss that hard, but it's the poison that does the most with regards to that. So, I'll have to look at getting a good set of poison gear on Valkyrie. It also matches our stats, so we do want that defense up as well. And so I'll probably off camera end up having to grind some stuff for Valkyrie, and then obviously we'll have to get her up to 60 as well. I think that's going to make a massive difference in terms of what damage she does. Generally, from what I've seen with Kayle, for example, there was a big jump in the damage and HP actually for Kayle when I got him to 60. So I'm guessing that would be very similar with most of the champions. I'm not saying it's the same, but I suppose certain champions would probably level up their abilities differently. It makes sense that way. But still, it was a massive jump for Kayle. I mean, if Kayle could hit harder, he could more or less solo most of these campaign missions. The problem with that is, as I said, Kayle's got okay gear, and that's about it. I do need to look at his gear as well and figure out how I'm going to go around. Now, I did consider two things for Kayle. One would have been a lifesteal set because of all of the AoEs, so we don't want that. It's a 4-star though, 5-star actually. I'll keep it for now. See, this is what I've been doing. I've been keeping it, and I know it's useless because it's got a flat stat, base flat stat, and the problem with that is, I mean, it's a good thing because I'm keeping it, and when I do run out of money, and I will run out of silver, I'll probably end up going through all of the gear that I've got and then selling off the pieces that I don't want. And I think I have a ton of them that I don't want at this point in time. So it's a bit of a stash that I'm putting away for darker days, if you will, when I really need that silver. And from this point forth, it's going to be more or less a grind just to get champions leveled up, and then once I got that, I think I'll focus on food. Now there is currently a I'm not sure if it's I think it's like a dungeon type of event or something like that, where, or something like, I'm not sure what they're called. I think it's an event, not a tournament. So it's an event where you get gear out of dungeons. So by doing this, I'm slowly working towards it, if that makes sense. So speed, see, speed's good, resistance meh. I would like to know what I get. I'll keep that. See, the speed's good on the boot. This could make a big difference. Now, speed is the only primary stat, my bad, that does not come as percentage, and speed will be needed later on, and I might as well keep it just in case. I'm guessing I'll have to work with broken sets until I get what I need, so that's worth keeping. It's just a shame that I don't know what substats there are on it, and normally I tend to like sets and gear and artifacts that have the substats already listed, so that would be your rare, your epic and legendary items, because they already have the substats, and so I know what I could potentially get. Whereas in terms of my luck, well, my luck ain't that great, so I'm probably not going to roll anything that's going to help me anyways. So it's kind of, I mean, it'll do. It's got the speed, so that's, you know, that might at some point be helpful for me. Because this is going to be a bit of a long video, and I don't know what people like, if they like these sort of videos longer. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of grinding on camera and maybe close to the 30-minute mark, probably end it. So I am using a timer just to kind of bear in mind how long I've been playing for. Otherwise I just get so drawn into the game that I forget to stop recording. But that is the plan, and I do hope that people will tell me with regards to these videos and these playthrough videos, if they like them longer, shorter, you know. What I mean, this is more or less one of these games where you just do the same thing over and over and over and over again. So I think to mix it up, I might. So I want the speed set from here, the lifesteal set is what I want, the toxic set is what I want, and I think Avenging's alright. Days is a good set, so that's gonna help. That's the CC stuff, so that's always gonna be good on the AoEs. The Frost set is good. Again, CC for certain characters, specifically the AoE damaging characters. So I'm getting close to where I want to be, but unfortunately I'm just gonna farm what I can. I'm getting closer to the higher level dungeons, but I don't want to push it too fast. I haven't got the champions ready that I need, or the champions that I need, so I'm just gonna go with what I can. I think the dragon has about 20 levels. I'm currently halfway through, so I'm hoping to get 4-star sets that I could probably use, preferably 5-star sets. So that is a possibility. I mean, it's a low possibility, which is why I want to get to the end. You know, you do want the 5-star sets. I'll even look at 3-star sets, to be fairly honest. That will help me, I suppose, progress. So if something drops that is a 3-star and has really good stats, main stats and sub-stats, then I will keep it until, you know, I get further along in the game and I'm certain I don't need it. I still have plenty of space in my inventory, so I can definitely store a lot of stuff. Thank God I've not started running out of space. So let's see what we got there. We didn't get the days yet, which is good. I do have plenty of energy, so I think a couple of runs here in the dragon dungeon to maybe hopefully get something nice, decent that I may potentially use. That would be good. I'm kind of looking at what my team's doing. I've got a ton of debuffs, but they don't seem to be affecting us too badly. So we do have attack down, we have weakened and poisoned, and I think that's about all I've seen. I don't know if I've seen a defense down. Oh, hey, here we go. Our turn. Now, ideally in this situation, I would have liked it if I had the shield up and the retaliate. Okay, so we didn't damage him good enough to actually stop that fire breath, but there we go. So weaken, lots of poison. There we go. That's what I would have liked. If that would have come in earlier, that would have made a difference. But I suppose we work with what we have. It's all full auto. You know, sometimes the computer doesn't actually, or the AI doesn't make the best decisions. It's one of those things where the AI will pretty much use a ability as soon as it's available, and sometimes using it as soon as it's available is not the best way to use it. Oh, hey, 4-star set. What have we got? Defense, of course, crit damage and resistance. Crit damage. That's an okay set, so I'll keep that. Has potential for me at this point in time. So that's good. That's a good pull. I like that. Okay, so the other thing with the dungeons that I suppose I see why they did it. It's the amount of energy that you need to do per or to use up per run, which is a lot of energy if you ask me. And I am trying to be economical with it in the terms of making the best use of it, making sure that I get something good out of it. And also, you know, I don't want to be wasting the energy. I do want to play this game for as long as I can, and so that does come down to energy management, doing things to allow energy to regenerate, making sure that I don't waste energy. You know, I will sometimes experiment with stages of dungeons that I'm not been in yet to see how my current team fares against it. Sometimes it works, other times I lose. Every time I do lose, that is, for me, from where I'm standing, just a waste of energy. So basically what I'm trying to say is I don't really want to waste energy, because it's quite precious in this game. There we go. Oh, how much I like that counter buff and that shield as well. So Valkyrie, I can say, is definitely right up there with Battle, which I hope to have someday. At this point, it may be a very long day away, you know, a very far away day, you know, in terms of when that's gonna happen, but you know, one can dream. I do want to dream about that stuff. Gives me reason to play the game and I suppose aspire to certain things. So the question is now how much energy I should spend in this particular dungeon. I don't want to put in all of my energy. I do want to use that sparingly. Oh, hey. So see, again, this is going to be, let's see, defense percentage, that's good. Accuracy, defense, substats are a bit I would have liked defense to be percentage as well down there, but there's a chance of rolling something with percentage on it. However, the main stat is defense and it is percentage, so that's going to come in handy. It's also got a possibility of crowd controlling, so that would do nicely on a champion that has a lot of AoE attacks. So like for example Elaine, Kale. Obviously Kale probably want to push damage on these two, but that's just an idea. So like for example Flesh Terror, he could certainly probably do that because he has an AoE attack. He doesn't use it all the time, and it doesn't do a lot of damage. But if, say for example, he were to potentially stun or crowd control, say, one of the 5 or 4 champions that you're going up against, that could make a difference. And he's not doing too good, Flesh Terror, is he? Okay. Here's to hoping that we get that purple bar down quick enough. Nearly there. Can we do it? And there we go, that's it. Now every time you don't get that bar down quick enough, he will use his fire breath and it will be a stun. Which means the dragon gets another turn, and yeah, you don't really want that to happen too often. And there goes Flesh Terror. So at the moment, I think on Flesh Terror, I've got a set that gives us a bit of a shield. And there we go, that's what happens when you don't get that purple bar down too quick. There we go. We're doing alright, we're doing alright. That could have gone worse, so you still have a fighting chance here. It's just that when he next does that, I don't think I'll be able to, or my team won't be able to take that bar down quick enough. So let's see how quickly we can take him down. Hopefully, there we go. Ooh dear. Alright, maybe we can. It's not that big. Seems to be a percentage of the current HP. Oh, there we go. So we got a brew. I would have preferred gear, but brews are good as well. It will help us at some point in time. We used up 50 energy in the dungeon, and I think from this point forth, I'm just going to do stuff off camera. I'm going to claim my rewards, and that's pretty much it. You know, that's me doing the daily quests. I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to go into the campaign, and I'm just going to repeat the same stage over and over and over and over and over again until I get a handful of leveled up champions, which I can then rank up and then level up again and then rank up again until I get enough to level up or rank up my next 6-star champion. So that is the aim from this point forward. It's gonna be monotonous, boring, and I suppose I'll be doing this and probably watching something on YouTube or whatnot. And I do hope that you have enjoyed it. If you guys want to see stuff like this, you can let me know down below in a comment. I do keep into consideration or take into consideration comments and what people want to see. So yeah, if you like this kind of stuff, let me know down below. If you want to see longer videos for Raid Shadow Legends, which is a very grindy game, let me know down below. I will eventually get out more guides for this game. It's all a thing of how quickly I pick up and learn and find out things in the game. Now, of course, I can mimic, if you will, what other YouTubers do, but I do want to explore with it and make sure that I understand what I am teaching and preaching, if that makes sense. So it's one of those things. I am playing around with it. I am trying out different things, and we'll see what comes of it. I'm probably going to waste a lot of silver on it and make several mistakes, but once I've got that down, I will normally make a guide for it, so that would help new players or even, you know, familiar players to the game and stuff like that. However, though, seeing as this is a game where I don't really control things and I don't really have any way of using admin commands and cheat, I'm gonna have to play it. I am gonna have to grind it out, and so there's a good chance that there'll be more gameplay videos than guides for it, because this is just the way the cookie crumbles and this is what the game is. So do bear that in mind. And I guess on that note, that this game will help me put out more gameplay videos. I mean, I know that there's a lot of people here on the channel that specifically come for the guides and stuff like that, and I have actually been thinking and aiming to get some gameplay videos out. I do want to focus on the guides, don't get me wrong. That's going to be the main focus of the channel, but I think lately I focused so much on making guides that I've not been putting out enough gameplay videos. And I do like playing games, and that's the thing, you know, I do want to put out more gameplay videos. And I guess with this game, because of how grindy it is and stuff like that, as I play it, I will record it and then therefore turn it into a gameplay series. We'll see how people like it, but as it looks at this point in time, it is doing okay-ish. I mean, it could do better, but it's one of those things. With anything that's new, sometimes people take a bit of time to warm up to it. This is, I suppose, a mobile game, and mobile games, let's face it, don't necessarily have the best reputations. They tend to be more of a encouragement to spend money and gamble, and I can see why. And you know, this game is no different in that aspect, but equally it does offer a good experience in terms of gameplay. I'm happy with it. It's grindy. I like all of the grind aspect of it. I mean, I could have played it without spending any money in it, and it would have probably made my journey that much longer, whereas I suppose by spending some money on it, it might have shortened it. But still, my experience with this game is quite positive, and I am actually enjoying playing this game quite a lot as it currently stands. I do like everything that this game has, with the exception of the whale category, which I've probably said and will always say, because, you know, I am a cheapskate. I don't like spending a lot of money on games. Just saying. I mean, okay, I don't mind spending a bit of money and kind of helping out a company maintain and develop and further develop a game. It's just that I suppose compared to other players that have played this game, I am not gonna go about spending thousands of dollars and pounds in the span of, I don't know, 2 to 3 months. I'm not gonna do that. That's, yeah, even if I had it available, I still wouldn't do it. I think it's just ridiculous to spend that amount of money. It doesn't mean that I expect to play it for free. I will probably spend and invest some money in it from time to time, but this is going to be a very rare occasion. I don't want to go too wild with it, and it's one of those things like I saw on I don't even know where, but like a discussion, I think might have been possibly on Twitch, with regards to certain players that have spent like tens of thousands of dollars on this game within the span of, I don't know, 3 maybe 4 months. That's a ridiculous amount of money. That's just nuts from my perspective. And even if I had that money, there's more and better ways that I could think for using that money. That's just no, it's not doable. It's no, just no. Yeah, I wouldn't waste that amount of money on it. You know, a couple of pounds here and there from time to time, I'll do that, but that's about it. So I'm going to be ending the video after this clan boss fight. We'll see how we fare against it. There are many things to see out of this, and yeah, I was going to end it before that, but I thought I'm in it already, might as well see how this pans out. Of course, we already know how this is going to pan out. My whole team is going to end up dying because that's the way the mechanics of this thing goes. Unless you can take it down before a certain, I think it's 50 turns or something like that, which my team is not going to be able to do. So that means it's going to end up with my team dying. But I do want to see how everybody's doing with regards to damage. And I think, if I'm going to make a guess here, Cold Heart is getting close to Elaine's damage, probably just over it. We'll see how that does. And do bear in mind that I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, Cold Heart's gear is actually slightly worse than Elaine's gear. So if she can put more damage than Elaine, and she's not fully booked, so Elaine is fully booked, Cold Heart isn't. If she can do that, then that's gonna mean to me that Cold Heart takes Elaine's place as a DPSer for the moment. And we'll see what Valkyrie does in terms of damage, and then work from there with regards to how I can increase the amount of damage. You bear in mind, I don't have a defense down, I don't have an attack down. So as you can see, Cold Heart is already doing better than Elaine, which says a lot. And Valkyrie's doing quite well as well. She's quite close to Elaine. So that means Elaine's gonna end up getting taken out and being put in the campaign farming section. So that's her role, and it's gonna happen fairly soon. With that being said and done, that is it for this video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it, and if you have, please don't forget to support me on the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself, and if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel. Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethum Discord. Links to this you can find down below in the video description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks.